Well, students in Sooke are finding their voice after launching a community-focused podcast produced right at their high school.
It's all thanks to a new podcasting booth that isn't just for students. Here's Ethan Morneau.
At this high school in Sooke, students are speaking up.
Welcome back to our second episode.
So this is the Edward Milne Community School, and it became a community school in 1987.
Found on Sooke Road, it's home to about 700 students benefiting from a brand new on-campus podcast booth where they can tap into their potential.
Very fun, a lot of joking around and all that.
Students Marley, Constantine, and Zara are the voices behind the new podcast, Sooke is Bear Country.
Sooke is Bear Country is written, produced, and presented by local high school students.
It originated within the walls of the Creative Lab, which is grant-funded and a key part of the school's maker space.
Well, Sooke is a fast-growing community, but it's still rural, and we don't have a lot of facilities out here or space as compared to Langford or Victoria, so the schools are heavily relied upon to provide spaces for clubs, learning.
Green helped bring the program to fruition. Along with students, the public is invited to utilize the facilities, which also include a wood shop, metal shop, art studio, and 3D printing studio.
A space that they might not otherwise have at home, or equipment that they might not have at home.
So people are thrilled to have this at their fingertips, and it's exceeding their expectations.
And here I'm thinking, oh, we're going to be on a little computer and we'll have like those little mics. Like, that's what I'm thinking. And then you come up and you see like, oh, whoa, we have this like big space. And so it was very exciting.
When you go in here, you go really away from school, and it's a bit freeing because it's like such a different space.
Brian Croker isn't a school teacher, but he's helping guide these students.
And trauma culture comes along and says, well, you are the way you are.
He's a podcaster himself, and he recognizes how storytelling evolves.
And he runs his own podcast, and it's fairly successful. Like Brian said, he's like, oh, I used to work at the school newspaper, and that's kind of not a thing anymore, but now we could have a podcast.
Sooke is Bear Country is now on Spotify, and it's giving the budding podcasters the freedom to explore their community and let their voices be heard.
With that, we want to grasp like the youth and the youth in Sooke, what they're doing basically.
It's an arts and culture podcast is the idea. It's really good. I was really impressed.
So it's very fun, especially because they're two of my best friends. So it's just kind of like a spot to hang out and be creative together.
Helping build strong friendships and keeping audiences tuned in for what's to come.
Written, produced,